The movie was incredible.
Just jumping, just had me, rocking on my seat,
It was an experience of a lifetime.
It was cute. It was way cute.
I loved it. It was brilliant. It really was.
I recommend it. It's a tearjerker.
I think everybody should see this movie.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us today. I have to say, as a fan of Garden State, I really enjoyed sitting down and watching this film because though it's similar visually and tonally, it shows a completely different side to you, a more matured side.
Thank you.
So how would you say you've grown in the years between the two films? What's different for you now than it was back then?
Well, Garden State was my first movie. I mean, I went to film school. I wanted to make movies. I did everything I could to try and get that film made, and no one wanted to make it, and I finally found someone to make it. And so I certainly wasn't expecting the reaction to it, that it became this sort of big cult hit. So I feel like I have gotten better as a filmmaker in the decades since. I mean, I've learned a lot. I haven't directed another film, but directed lots of other things, including Scrubs. And I feel like I not only matured as a person and a writer, but also as a filmmaker, and learned and learned how to hopefully be a better filmmaker.
Yeah, I like to think that a director takes certain lessons away with each film they make, and paired with the fact that you also wrote and starred in it. What was the lesson you took away from this film in particular?
The lesson I took away from this one, that's a good question. I would say that, because of this unique way that we crowdfunded it with my fans, 47,000 of them helping to fund it along with my own money, that it was just so imperative and crucial to have complete control of it, and retain Final Cut, make sure that no one else was allowed to edit it besides me, and it made me realize that there's so many films out there that we all might like more had they not had so many chefs in the kitchen, or had the filmmaker's vision messed with.
That's really the big buzz around the film, the Kickstarter campaign,
Yeah.
I think. And, a lot of people might poke at it because to fund a large-scale production is a little off, but it really worked out in Wish I Was Here. It really, you can say it was sort of a film for the fans. So what would you say to those fans right now, those who supported you, supported that campaign?
Well, I have a lot of contact with them because I email them whether they like it or not almost every day. So I tell them all the time, thank you so much, and that this was made for them. The rest of the world will opine heavily whether they love it or not, but I feel pretty certain that those 47,000 people will love it because it's safe to say we have the same taste. They are the epicenter of my fan base, and this was made for them with what I think they like in mind. So, and also they were a part of the whole process. We kept them, on the inside with all these behind-the-scenes videos and everything. So I feel pretty, and I've been traveling the country. That's why I'm here in Boston, showing the movie to them early, doing Q&As, and the response has been just amazing, unbelievable. So I feel pretty good that, most importantly, that's what I was most nervous about, that they like it.
It's clear how personal this story is for you. And I think the sort of thing that I really enjoyed the most about it is the relationship that Aiden has with his children, which is interesting considering you don't have kids. But
Yeah.
If you did, what kind of father would you want to be? What kind of lessons would you want to impart to your children?
Well, I think this is, kind of a testament to the kind of dad the kind of dad he is at the end of the movie is who I'd like to be. He finds a way to share what he's learned about life with them. He's not an academic. I'm not really an academic. I am glad that someone else will teach my kids geometry, not me. But, it's about, he teaches them what he knows about life, what he loves about life, and that life is finite, and you need to celebrate it while we're here. And that's what the film's about. Wish I was here, meaning I wish I was present. I wish I was able to be in the moment and always appreciate how fleeting and quick life is.
There's a lot of tough elements that you touch upon that aren't always easy to represent, particularly faith and Judaism. And I was wondering, why is religion such an important theme to you, and what place does it hold in your own life?
Well, I was raised very religious, and both my brother and I, I wrote the film with my brother Adam, and he's 10 years older than I, and so we both had this experience of being raised very religious, and appreciating the culture and the humor and the traditions of it and the family aspect of it. But when it came to looking for meaning in life, when it came to dealing with death and dealing with the insanity of being a living being on this tiny rock in the middle of nowhere, our religion wasn't helping us. And I felt that there were a lot of people I knew out there who were feeling the same way. We're searching for a spirituality they could relate to. And that's the story of this man who organized religion, as it were, wasn't something that worked for him. And so he's on a quest to find some sort of spirituality that will be meaningful to him and also something he can impart to his children.
Let's talk about the cast for a second. You pulled together such a terrific cast for this film.
Thank you.
And as I study screenwriting, so this is an interesting question for me. What was your favorite character to write, and what was it like bringing them to life?
I think Kate is my favorite character to write because Kate Hudson's character, Sarah, because I really like writing strong women, and I think there are a lot of women out there who are, really the matriarchs of the family, pulling all the strings, keeping it all together, and the men think they're in control of everything, but the women are really the rock of the family and holding it together. And so I wanted to write a strong female character like Kate's, who so believes in her husband and his dreams and his goals and wants to support him, but also is finally coming to a point in her life where she says, okay, but what about me? What about my life? What about my dreams? And just her wrestling with wanting to be a good wife, but also wanting to have her own life. And also all those people out there who don't have a dream specifically. I was always blessed that I always knew I wanted to be in entertainment. I always wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a filmmaker. There's so many people out there who are going through life and they haven't quite found their calling. And so I also wanted that to be a part of her character too. She longs for something, but she doesn't even know what it is.